National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula will on Thursday afternoon rule on the question of which political side in the House has a majority of lawmakers. During the first sitting of the National Assembly after the official opening of the 13th Parliament by President William Ruto, Wetangula allowed members to ventilate on the majority dispute, ostensibly to inform his decision. In a battle of wits on the floor of the House, lawmakers allied to Kenya Kwanza and the Azimio Umoja coalition took to the floor to persuade Wetangula how and why they were the majority, each side citing its numerical strength. And as Francis Gachuri now reports, the contents of the Azimio Umoja One Kenya coalition party pre-election agreement dominated proceedings during the afternoon sitting.
The National Assembly majority dispute was inevitably a major point of discussion as the House convened for its first official sitting after the 13th Parliament was opened by President William Ruto last Thursday in a joint sitting of the bicameral Parliament. All eyes were on Speaker Moses Wetangula to determine who between Azimio Umoja Coalition Party and Kenya Kwanza Alliance constituted the majority side after both teams submitted names of designated majority leaders and whips.
Before we make a determination and direction, I want to give the House the remainder of the time this afternoon to ventilate on this matter.
Each side putting its case to lay claim to the majority leadership slots.
Honorable Speaker, indeed the question that is before you and before this House, Honorable Speaker, is to simply determine which is the largest coalition of political parties or the largest political party. And that party, Honorable Speaker, must be a parliamentary political party as is stipulated, I think, in Standing Order 20A of our own Standing Orders, Honorable Speaker.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party is both a political party and a coalition under the Political Parties Act. This is the law.
Those that were elected under the Azimio la Umoja were more than those that were elected under the Kenya Kwanza. Mr. Speaker, it is only after the election that things started changing, and only after the announcement of Honorable William Ruto, His Excellency, as the president, that things started changing. If the results were different, I can tell you, we would not even be having this discussion. So let us be honest with ourselves.
I told my colleagues then that don't make laws that will haunt you. And there are people who are running away from that chaos. As they say, Murive, don't run. Murive, don't run. Junet and his colleagues, don't run. This matter must be decided this afternoon.
I have heard the argument that we passed a law in this House that has created chaos or caused chaos. Nothing could be further from the truth, Mr. Speaker. Let us accept the legal framework that we have. We might have been used to the old framework, but what we created at the House was where we can have a political party with corporate membership, and therefore, basically, is a coalition political party and coalition of parties.
Azimio la Umoja Coalition Party, holding on to the pre-election agreement signed by 26 constituent parties, Section 22 of the agreement, barring parties from exiting the coalition party 6 months to the August 9th general election and 3 months after the polls.
The majority coalition is Kenya Kwanza, and the right of association cannot be downplayed by a mere agreement.
That it is good once you are signing a document, please read the document and just know the content of the document. Mr. Speaker, I also want to remind them that for the ones who have left, yes, they might vote on the other side, but legally they are with Azimio. Until 90 days are over,
Pamoja African Alliance PA, United Democratic Movement UDM, Maendeleo Chapchap, and Movement for Democracy and Growth MDG are among parties that had signed up to establish Azimio la Umoja but have since joined Kenya Kwanza.
Chama cha PA kilitoka katika muungano wa Azimio tarehe 8 mwezi wa 5, miezi mitatu kabla ya uchaguzi.
When I stand here as a member of parliament and say I want to be counted under Kenya Kwanza, can somebody else force me to be in another coalition that I do not want? Don't I have a right under the Constitution to decide where I want to be?
You cannot engage in another marriage, Mr. Speaker, and marry another person before you divorce the first Speaker. And when you want to divorce, there is a divorce procedure to follow, Mr. Speaker. You must divorce procedurally, Mr. Speaker.
Azimio la Umoja's claim to the majority leadership suffering an initial blow after Speaker Wetangula dismissed the pre-election agreement that was tabled in the House by Junet.
Having gone through it very carefully, it does not meet the test of a required legal document. So I want to direct and rule that this document is inadmissible and you shall make no reference to it.
The ruling you have just made has a serious implication on the issue that we are debating, Mr. Speaker. Because, Mr. Speaker, the only known coalition agreement, and it was demanded by the members here that we should table it, Mr. Speaker, is the same document that in your ruling you have expunged, Mr. Speaker, from the records of the House.
A determination of the majority dispute is critical in the establishment of House Business Committee, the Committee on Appointments and Selection Committee. Francis Gachuri, Citizen TV.